Have you ever heard a voice so deep and unmistakable that it stops you in your tracks? That's what James Coburn's voice did for many fans. He had a presence that was impossible to ignore. Combine that with his lean, rugged look and laid-back charm, and you've got a Hollywood legend. James Coburn was more than just a tough-guy actor from westerns. He was an Academy Award winner who continuously reinvented himself. Whether you've seen him as a quick-shooting cowboy or a deeply troubled father, Coburn always brought an edge and intelligence to his roles. In this countdown, we're celebrating his 10 best films. Some are recognized classics, while others are hidden gems that deserve a spotlight. But each movie here showcases a unique side of Coburn's talent and underscores why he remains an iconic figure in cinema history. So, if you're ready to dive into the exciting world of westerns, war films, comedic spy spoofs, and dark, dramatic thrillers, keep watching. Let's jump in with number 10 and work our way up to the top spot. Trust me, there's a gem in this list for everyone. Don't forget, while you might know Coburn best for his steely grin in old-school westerns, he had a surprisingly broad range. Let's explore exactly how broad in our countdown of the top 10 James Coburn movies. Starting off our countdown at number 10, we have The Carey Treatment, a somewhat under-the-radar entry in James Coburn's filmography. If you're in the mood for a mystery tinged with medical drama, this 1972 release is exactly what the doctor ordered, no pun intended. Coburn plays Dr. Peter Carey, a pathologist who arrives at a Boston hospital only to find himself knee-deep in intrigue when a young woman dies after a botched abortion. Is it malpractice or something more sinister? What's especially appealing here is how Coburn shows off a side of his personality you might not expect if you only know him from westerns. He's inquisitive, a bit rebellious, and fiercely determined to uncover the truth, even if it means butting heads with the establishment. Beyond the central mystery, the film digs into social issues relevant to the era: women's rights, medical ethics, and institutional power dynamics. Coburn's performance holds it all together. He's at once empathetic, bold, and unwavering. If you're looking to see Coburn in a role that highlights his investigative grit, and you appreciate a good whodunit, consider giving The Carey Treatment a watch. It might not be the best-known film in his resume, but it offers a glimpse into how versatile Coburn could be when given a chance to shake off the cowboy hat and try something different. Coming in at number 9 is a quirky political satire that truly defies convention: The President's Analyst. Ever thought about how stressful it must be to listen to the Commander-in-Chief's deepest, darkest secrets? In this 1967 comedy, Coburn steps into the shoes of a psychiatrist recruited to treat the President of the United States, only to find himself pursued by every shadowy agency you can imagine. This is James Coburn in comedic mode, but don't expect slapstick. Instead, we get a sharp, witty performance that pokes fun at Cold War paranoia, the surveillance state, and even the idea of corporate influence run amok. Did you know that back in the late 1960s, society was already looking critically at how telephone companies could wield immense power? The President's Analyst channels that cultural anxiety into a whirlwind comedic romp that feels surprisingly modern. One of the film's highlights is Coburn's knack for staying cool under pressure. People are literally trying to kidnap or eliminate him, yet he maintains that steady, zen-like calm. It's something that sets his comedic work apart. He's never the frantic, bumbling type, but rather the suave, sometimes bewildered guy who retains his dignity as chaos erupts around him. If you're a fan of oddball comedies with biting social commentary, and you want to see Coburn riff on government paranoia decades before it became a cultural mainstay, put The President's Analyst on your watch list. It's a movie that can still make you laugh and ponder the dangers of an all-seeing state. Switching gears to a much darker, more brutal tone, we arrive at number 8, Cross of Iron. Directed by the legendary Sam Peckinpah, who was no stranger to violence and moral ambiguity, this 1977 war film places Coburn in the role of a German officer on the Eastern Front during World War II. Right away, you'll notice how this movie isn't a traditional patriotic war epic. Instead, it's a grim, almost nihilistic look at the futility of combat and the fragility of the human spirit when survival becomes the only goal. Coburn's character, Sergeant Steiner, is not your typical villain, nor is he a hero. He's a battle-hardened soldier who has seen too much brutality and is desperate to keep his men alive. One of the fascinating things here is watching how Coburn balances exhaustion, cynicism, and a glimmer of duty. You really get the sense that this is a man who sees no point in the war, but fights on simply because he has no other choice. Have you ever watched a war movie that made you question not just the opposing side's actions, but also your own side's motivations? Cross of Iron is precisely that kind of film. Coburn gives us one of the most layered performances of his career. It's raw, it's uncomfortable, and it clings to you long after the credits roll. If you can handle a war movie that punches you in the gut and forces you to rethink the glorification of battle, Cross of Iron is essential viewing. Plus, it's a standout in Peckinpah's filmography and a testament to Coburn's capability to anchor a story steeped in hopelessness. In seventh place, we find Hard Times, a 1975 Depression-era drama that pairs James Coburn with another screen tough guy, Charles Bronson. Bronson plays Cheney, a drifter who competes in bare-knuckle street fights, while Coburn steps in as Speed, a smooth-talking hustler and fight promoter who sees a golden opportunity in Cheney's brawling talents. This film is all about survival in dire economic times, and the partnership between Bronson and Coburn radiates both camaraderie and tension. What's intriguing about Coburn's role is that he's a bit of a scoundrel. He's charming, absolutely. He's shrewd, no question, but he's also a gambler with a knack for getting in over his head. He's flawed, often reckless, but there's a glint of optimism behind that flashy smile, like maybe he believes one good break could turn everything around. The dynamic between him and Bronson's stoic fighter is pure cinematic gold. Bronson's character is all about action. Coburn's is all about words. Yet they both share the same harsh reality. A world where every dollar could be your last, and the only real loyalty might be to yourself. If you're looking for a movie that perfectly captures Coburn's ability to be simultaneously likable and morally questionable, Hard Times should be high on your list. It's an underappreciated gem that serves as a gritty snapshot of the Great Depression and a testament to Coburn's range beyond the saddle or the comedic spy world. Coming in at number 6, we have In Like Flint, the 1967 sequel to Our Man Flint. Here, Coburn reprises his role as Derek Flint, the coolest, most unflappable secret agent you've ever seen. But while the first film in this series parodied the James Bond franchise, the second movie doubles down on the satire and ramps up the absurdity. Did you ever think you'd see a storyline involving a sinister cabal of women plotting to take over the world by mind-controlling the president? Well, that's exactly what you get here, and Coburn's Flint is ready to handle it with his signature poise. One of the best things about this sequel is how it delves deeper into the tongue-in-cheek nature of Coburn's spy persona. He's a master at practically everything, from martial arts to telepathy to gourmet cooking. Yet, as ridiculous as that sounds, Coburn's comedic timing and effortless confidence make it oddly believable. This is the kind of movie where you watch and think, if anyone can charm their way out of a nuclear missile crisis with a grin, it's James Coburn. It's also worth noting how these Flint films influenced the spy spoof genre for decades. Long before Austin Powers made us laugh with over-the-top espionage tropes, Derek Flint was out there, cool as ice, mocking the archetype of the super spy. In a way, In Like Flint feels both retro and ahead of its time. If you're in the mood for something playful, campy, and loaded with Coburn's brand of deadpan charm, this one's for you. Swooping in at number 5 is the original that started it all, Our Man Flint, released in 1966. Think James Bond is the only spy who can handle any global crisis with style? Think again. Derek Flint is almost like a comedic genie. He can dance, decode messages, and even speak dolphin language, all while saving the world. The premise alone hints that you're in for a wild ride, but it's Coburn's portrayal that cements this film as a spy spoof classic. In many ways, Our Man Flint is a snapshot of the 60s. It offers a vibrant color palette, groovy sets, and a storyline dripping with Cold War paranoia, but tackled with a playful wink. Audiences at the time loved seeing a tongue-in-cheek response to the more straightforward Bond films. Coburn's mastery of cool confidence is on full display here. He wears the role so comfortably you might think he'd been playing Derek Flint his entire life. Have you ever wanted to step into a world that's as stylish as it is silly? That's exactly the appeal of Our Man Flint. Coburn brings a subtle sarcasm to lines that would be impossible for most actors to pull off with a straight face. And the film even pokes fun at the notion of the hyper-competent male lead. Flint is just so good at everything that it becomes comedic gold. If you ever need a break from the standard secret agent fare and want to see Coburn have the time of his life on screen, Our Man Flint should top your viewing list. Strap in, because number 4 is a wild revolution-themed Western from none other than Sergio Leone. Duck, You Sucker, also known as A Fistful of Dynamite. Released in 1971, it pairs James Coburn as an Irish dynamite expert named John Mallory with Rod Steiger as a Mexican bandit. Together, they find themselves reluctantly caught up in the Mexican Revolution. If you've only seen Coburn in American westerns, this film will flip your perspective. Leone's signature style of epic close-ups, sweeping landscapes, and moral complexity is on full display here. Coburn's character is haunted by a troubled past. He's not just blowing things up for the thrill of it. He's wrestling with guilt, sorrow, and a desire for redemption. Though he's an explosives expert with a wry sense of humor, there's a sadness lurking beneath the surface, a reflection of betrayals and regrets that weigh him down. Duck, You Sucker is also notable for Ennio Morricone's haunting score. The combination of the film's sprawling setting, political turmoil, and Coburn's mesmerizing performance creates a Western that's part action spectacle and part rumination on the costs of revolution. It's both grand and introspective, which might be why it didn't get the same immediate recognition as Leone's Dollars trilogy. But make no mistake, if you're a fan of Coburn or Sergio Leone, this is a can't-miss journey into the explosive heart of revolution. You might walk away pondering how one can fight for a cause without losing one's soul in the process. Riding in at number 3 is a film with a legendary aura around it, Sam Peckinpah's Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, 1973. By now, you can see that Coburn and Peckinpah made a formidable team, but this Western is distinct. Instead of playing the flamboyant outlaw, Coburn portrays Pat Garrett, an aging lawman torn between duty and friendship. Billy the Kid, played by Chris Christopherson, used to be his companion. But times have changed, the West is evolving, and Garrett is forced to hunt down his old comrade. Have you ever lost a friend because your paths diverged too drastically? That's the emotional core of this movie, and Coburn nails it. He's weary, contemplative, and visibly wrestling with the moral burden of his mission. This isn't your typical gunslinger who relishes the chase. He's a man trying to navigate a rapidly changing frontier, facing the reality that the freewheeling days of the Old West are coming to an end. Adding to the film's iconic stature is Bob Dylan, who not only composed the soundtrack but also appears in a minor role. The song "Knockin' on Heaven's Door" underscores the film's melancholic mood. This is a Western unlike the shoot-'em-up spectacles you might expect. Instead, it's introspective, almost poetic in how it depicts the erosion of the cowboy myth. And James Coburn, with his understated gravitas, anchors the film's emotional weight. If you appreciate reflective, character-driven westerns that linger in your mind long after you've finished watching, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid is a must-see. At number 2, we have perhaps the most famous western to feature James Coburn, The Magnificent Seven, 1960. A reimagining of Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai, this film throws together a group of gunfighters, each with his own motivations, to defend a Mexican village from a brutal bandit. The ensemble cast includes legendary names like Yul Brynner and Steve McQueen, and Coburn stands out as Britt, the quiet sharpshooter whose calm demeanor conceals lethal skills. One of the film's iconic moments is when Coburn's character demonstrates his prowess in a knife-versus-gun showdown, something that's remained etched in cinema history for its cool factor. Have you ever been in a situation where someone underestimates you, only for you to surprise them with unexpected skill? That's Britt in a nutshell. He's not a man of many words, but every gesture he makes is deliberate and telling. Even in a star-studded cast, Coburn's presence is unmistakable. You don't see him brag about how fast or skilled he is. He simply lets his actions speak for him. It's that quiet confidence that left audiences wanting more. The Magnificent Seven has become a hallmark of the Western genre, and Coburn's role in it helped cement his reputation as a laconic but potent force on screen. If you're looking for a thrilling, guns-blazing adventure that's also steeped in camaraderie and a sense of honor, you can't skip this one. It's a testament to how a well-chosen ensemble and a perfectly timed Coburn smirk can turn a movie into an all-time classic. We've reached the pinnacle of our list, and taking the top spot is Affliction, 1997. This intense drama, directed by Paul Schrader, earned James Coburn his well-deserved Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Coburn plays Glenn Whitehouse, an abusive, domineering father whose past and present cruelty have cast long shadows over the life of his son, Wade, portrayed with haunting intensity by Nick Nolte. Seeing Coburn in the role of Glenn Whitehouse is a stark departure from his usual cool or heroic personas. Here, he's violent, deeply flawed, and responsible for shaping Wade's ongoing struggle with his own demons. Have you ever wondered what it takes for an actor to dive so deeply into the dark side of human nature? Coburn's portrayal is as unsettling as it is captivating. You can't take your eyes off him, even as the toxicity of his character's behavior makes you cringe. There's a painful realism to how he interacts with Wade, and you sense this father's emotional stranglehold on his son's psyche. Affliction is about how buried traumas can surface and destroy a person from within. It's about cycles of abuse, regret, and the desperate wish to salvage a sense of control in life. Coburn's contribution is crucial in articulating the emotional weight that Wade has shouldered for so long. It's the kind of film that stays with you, not because it's packed with action, but because it forces you to confront the simmering tensions and unresolved wounds that can exist within a family. For his unforgettable performance, Coburn rightfully received that golden statue, forever marking Affliction as a crowning achievement in his distinguished career. And there you have it, the top 10 best movies of James Coburn. As you've seen, Coburn was so much more than a tough-talking cowboy or a suave spy. His roles spanned comedic spoofs, introspective westerns, war dramas, and brutally honest character studies. From the Depression-era underground fights of Hard Times to the haunting family tragedy of Affliction, Coburn's on-screen persona shifted effortlessly, proving time and time again that he was an actor of remarkable depth. His fierce independence, combined with a laid-back cool, made him stand out in a Hollywood era brimming with iconic faces. Why should these films be on your must-watch list? Each movie reveals a different dimension of Coburn's talent. One moment, he's a knife-throwing cowboy saving a village. The next, he's a psychiatrist dodging secret agents, or a father so monstrous he'll make your skin crawl. You won't just be entertained. You'll gain insight into how one actor can embody such a range of characters with unflinching authenticity. Coburn's legacy in cinema isn't just about his distinctive grin or that trademark voice. It's about the emotional grit and layered performances he brought to every project. If you've enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to show your support. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments which James Coburn performance amazed you the most. Maybe you have a personal favorite that didn't make our list. Let us know that too. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more entertaining movie countdowns and in-depth film discussions. After all, the magic of cinema never ends, and there's always another gem waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.